The air cargo subsector is at these times not in the best of shape as freight movements are constrained by red tape. Around 40% of annual global air cargo is typically transported in the belly hold of passenger aircraft, contributing to the capacity pinch, but now the vast majority of passenger aircraft are grounded. As the International Air Transport Association has said, industry and governments need to create a more flexible aviation environment for freight, which can serve as a model for passenger aviation once that sector resumes. Here in Lagos, trouble is brewing as licensed custom agents say they will not pay demurrage over goods that came in during the lockdown.
Please, I am just begging you, to whom may concern that have any cargo inside this place, pending the time we are going to sort out this issue, nobody should enter the warehouse. Don't let me see anybody inside the warehouse. Don't be a sabotage. Please, I am begging you. I am begging you. This cause, we are going to fight it and defeat to whom it is concerned that is on it.
The cargo companies say they will not have any of this as every business is bleeding.
Yeah, we had a complaint. They've engaged us on several occasions during the lockdown. And as a company, as part of our own contribution, we're going to share the responsibility. So we're looking at giving them 50% off the accumulated development rate during the lockdown period as our own contribution to cushion the effects on them. You know, even normally, airport is still closed according to the presidential directive. So they are not supposed to be here until the airport are reopened. So during the presidential pronouncement, it was clear that the only cargo aspect is opened at the airport and only for essential and COVID-related transaction. So we only work with that. So once Custom releases source cargo, we open to release it to the clearing agent or the consignee, as the case may be.
The global air cargo services market is expected to grow from $65.4 billion in 2019 to $67.4 billion in 2020 at a compound annual growth rate of 3.1%. The low growth rate is mainly due to economic slowdown across countries owing to the COVID-19 outbreak and the measures to contain it. The market is then expected to recover and grow at a CAGR of 14% from 2021 and reach $95.5 billion in 2023. On the foreign scene, Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated has sold its entire stakes in the four largest U.S. airlines in April. The chairman of the company, Warren Buffett, said at the company's annual meeting that the aviation industry has changed for the worse.
The world changed for airlines, and I wish them well, but it's one of the businesses we have. We have businesses we own directly that are going to be hurt significantly. The virus will cost Berkshire money. It doesn't cost money because our stock and various other businesses moves around. I mean, if XYZ, which is say is one of our holdings, and we own it as a business and we like the business, the stock goes down 20 or 30 or 40%. We don't feel we're poor in that situation. We felt we were poor in terms of what actually happened to those airline businesses, just as if we'd owned 100% of them. So that explains those sales, which are relatively minor, but I want to make sure that nobody thinks that involves a market prediction.
The conglomerate has held sizable positions in the airlines, including an 11% stake in Delta, 10% of American Airlines, 10% of Southwest Airlines, and 9% of United Airlines as at the end of 2019. An expert says this sale comes as a shock.
It surprised the market. That's why the airlines got crushed early on today. But they have come back. They've come back about 5-7% off their lows because for me, again, I thought a lot of this was factored in. It didn't change the fundamentals at all. These companies all raised cash. They also took the first tranche of the government, which is $25 billion. They're going to you go up to 50 billion. I think that's even going to be more because the airlines generated $300 billion in sales last year, and they're down 90% capacity. So, there's probably going to be more government help. But, I don't know. I mean, Buffett's the smartest investor in the world, and even for me to say that I disagree with what he's doing is kind of tough. But, I think this may turn out to be a mistake. I think the airlines, if you have a 2 to 3 year thesis on these things, they're going to be a lot higher than they are.
Berkshire had earlier disclosed on April 3rd that it had sold about 18% of its Delta stake and 4% of its Southwest shares. Air Force Thunderbirds and the U.S. Navy Blue Angels have staged a flyover of Washington, D.C. to honor the frontline workers fighting the coronavirus outbreak. Planes also flew over Baltimore, Atlanta, and Florida. The tributes come as Americans in about half of the United States, led by Texas and Georgia, began emerging from home confinement, while California and New York held fast to business closures and other restrictions imposed in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. Governors have been under pressure from citizens agitating for relief from the restrictions, as the U.S. Department of Labor data this week showed some 30 million Americans have sought unemployment benefits since March 21. The number of known infections nationwide has climbed to more than 1 million, with over 60,000 deaths in the United States. Next port of call is Central Asia, where Kazakh Airlines has made its first regular domestic flights in more than a month on May the 1st, with rows of passengers seated alongside empty middle seats after the vast Central Asian nation eased coronavirus lockdown rules. Kazakhstan's 19 million people are spread across a country the size of Western Europe, and many people rely on flights to travel between family and work. The first route to reopen was the 90-minute flight between the biggest city, Almaty, and the capital, Nur Sultan. 3 domestic airlines, Air Astana, SCAT, and Kazakh Airline, operated these flights.
From May the 1st, Almaty International Airport will resume flights between the cities of Nur Sultan and Almaty. 6 flights and 6 arrivals are planned during the day. On May the 4th, we are going to resume more domestic flights.
Passengers were also required to present certificates of fitness.
Check-in and boarding of passengers will only be carried out if they have a coronavirus test certificate. The certificates are valid for no more than 7 days from the date of issue.
In new rules, airlines must leave empty seats between passengers, who are also required to wear protective masks. The new arrangement reduced the number of seats available by 30%. Kazakhstan has confirmed more than 3,500 cases of the disease and 25 deaths. A state of emergency will continue in that country until at least May 11. Hungarian budget carrier Wizz Air became one of the first European airlines to restart routes, with flights between London's Luton Airport and the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. That's all on this edition, and it's bye for now. Do stay safe. I'm Bukola Joe Oketumbi.